I'm making sure I'm live. Hi, everybody. Hello, television viewers. And welcome to the very first installment of Public Domain Theater. This is the new series where we get to say screw you to the copyright laws. This is my public domain. And we get to break down the movies live in real time for the look and feel of a real organic, squishy movie watching experience. Hi out there to everybody in the chat. Hi, I see you joining. So happy to have you on board. So the movie that I chose for this first episode of Public Domain Theater is basically to recognize that Thanksgiving is still a Thanksgiving is still a holiday that Americans celebrate in November. Despite it basically just glorifying the killing of natives and now signifying the start of the season where we actually all revel in our rampant consumerism that destroys the planet. But don't worry, because come January 1st, it's a new year, new you, and it's trendy and fun and cool to hate yourself again. And I'll be right there with you, hating you. I'm just kidding. Hi, where are you guys watching from? I hope some of you are using, what's it called? I hope you're doing this in a secret location. Wouldn't that be fun? Like secretly watching at work? Also, I want people to know this is not necessarily a TV movie. It's actually the Christmas episode of an anthology series called The 20th Century Fox Hour. It aired on December 14th, 1955. Only 7 years after the original classic 1947 Miracle on 34th Street, starring Natalie Wood and Maureen O'Hara. So this shorter version was often included as a special feature on DVDs of the original. So you know what? Hi, Canada, South Africa, no kidding, Boston. I'm from Boston. You guys, we're about to watch a movie together. I'm so excited. So let's just jump into it. What do you say? Miracle on 34th Street, here she comes, coming down like a parade float. Oh, I have to start it over. I had it start on the title screen for you. For showmanship. I also wanted a, Usher's costume, but short notice. Yes, so this episode stars Macdonald, Carey, Teresa, Wright, and Thomas Mitchell as Kris Kringle. It looks like the hottest day of summer when they shot this. The only version of the movie to be shot entirely in Los Angeles, except for stock footage. Excuse me, that hunk of canned bread wants to talk to you. Santa looks so brown to me in this movie. I'm like, why are you monochromatic?
Making a serious mistake. Huh? With reindeer, I mean. You're putting Prancer where Descher should be. And Stevenson should always be on my right-hand side.
He should, huh?
Yes, and another thing. Donna's antlers have 4 points.
Oh no, not this level of detail.
I don't suppose anyone would notice that except me.
No, I don't.
No one cares about all the posts on Blitzy and Mitzi, or your other reindeer pet.
Well, glad I could be of help.
Thank you so much, Lily Boom, for the chat. Love me some you. Ooh, Macy's. I used to work it there. Check out that stock footage.
You see, it's all in your wrists, like throwing a ball.
That's like rear screen projection they're using there. Basically the old version of green screen.
Wonderful, would you?
You can tell because it's the same shot they just showed us, but with these two and a couple extras in front of it.
Well, the parade's ready to start. You coming?
Parades in the old days looked scary.
I may just stay there until next Thanksgiving.
But you've worked so hard on the parade.
If I want to, I can see it from the roof of my apartment. Bye.
Bye. Very gruff there. Ooh. More rear screen projection. So this version of the movie basically cuts out whole plot lines.
Here, they just painted him different. My mother told me. She manages the parade.
Wow. She said,
He's really
I'm a little fun ruiner.
Really?
Here to ruin it.
And you a lawyer. There are no such things as giants.
Well, maybe not now, Susan, but in olden times, like the giant Jack.
Mama, this is the olden times. There were no giants.
mean your mother or father never read you any?
This girl was raised without an imagination, so that's a big problem.
Father. You see, my mother and father were divorced when I was a baby.
Oof.
Well,
It's a very intimate parade conversation.
come in.
Thank you for the super chat, Naomi.
Susan was
And
Yes, Susie.
Serb in Japan, thank you so much.
told me quite a bit about you, too.
They're literally talking so fast to make this 45 minutes.
Parade's much better.
My parents got divorced when I was little. I'll be your new dad. I love you. I'll kiss other men at the sports club. If don't tell anyone, okay, yeah.
Coffee?
Oh, don't bother.
Snobby Lion, thank you so much for the super chat.
Being so kind to Susan.
All part of the plot. Surest.
They just met right now. This girl went down into some stranger's house.
Susan tells me you don't approve of fairy tales.
No.
I think
Or religion.
completely truthful with our children. Not let them grow up believing
Tell me if you read her the Bible.
like Santa Claus, for example.
I see.
The parade's over, Mother. The acrobats were good.
Those prices they should be.
Mother, I was thinking.
So practical.
Such a big turkey for dinner, and there are only 2 of us. Couldn't we invite Mr. Gaily? Couldn't we?
Oh, dear.
Oh, please don't bother. I'll just get a sandwich or something.
So not
Ew.
turkey.
Why did people in the 50s love sandwiches? Like, were they the newest thing?
No, he hasn't. Have you?
Well, as a matter of fact, to be truthful and completely realistic with the job,
Oh,
I haven't.
throwing your words back at ya.
Didn't I ask her all right, Mr. Gaily?
She can't keep a secret, Susan. And if I'm a child, I'm not allowed to invite people to my parents' house. That mom should knock her out with those bullet bras. Rock hard.
You asked just right.
Your ass is grass, Susan. Thank you so much for the super chats. I appreciate that, Amy, so much, as well as the others that came through.
Now, here's a list of toys we have to push. You know, things we've overstocked. You'll find that a great many children are undecided as to what they want for Christmas. When this occurs, you immediately suggest one.
I don't know why the Santa looks like a steamed hot dog to me. Anyone else?
All right, here they come. You get up there and go to work and memorize that list. And remember, be jolly. You're working for Macy's.
Imagine that. Making a child take something he doesn't want just because he bought too many of the wrong toys. That's what I've been fighting against.
Talking to.
And what's that, Pop?
Trying to commercialize Christmas.
Motivation stated. Now we know.
Now then, what's your name, little boy?
Peter.
And what do you want for Christmas, Peter?
I want a fire engine just like the big ones, only smaller. It's got real hoses.
What the hell did this kid just say? We gotta get him checked out for tetanus.
Now, Peter, I
Something rusty in his butt.
you'll get your fire engine.
You see, I told you to get me one.
Thank you so much, Chance.
Right over there. Mommy wants to thank Santa, too.
Trauma dump. That she did.
What do you mean by saying a thing like that? I've been all over town trying to find that kind of a fire engine. Macy doesn't have one. Nobody's got one.
But you can get those fire engines at
Just order it.
the toy company on West 46th.
Acme Toy Company.
Only $4.50.
Looney Tunes crossover.
Oh, I follow the toy market pretty closely.
Macy's sending other people to other stores?
Well, the important thing is to keep the children happy. Well, Macy's or somebody else sell the toy. That doesn't matter, does it?
I worked at Macy's. It doesn't work that way. They wanted you opening 5 credit cards a week, and they had a holding cell in the basement for employees who messed up a sale like that.
Oh, yes, we have skates. Nice shiny skates, and they're very good.
Shiny skates, and they're very good.
I don't think they're the kind of skates you want. Now, they have really wonderful skates at Gimbals.
Gimbals. That's where the 1994 remake with Mara Wilson. No.
You're the head of the toy.
Yeah, Mara Wilson.
Yes, ma'am, yeah.
Well, look,
I love that movie.
congratulate you on Macy's and this new stunt you're doing. Sending people to other stores. To think that a big store like this puts the spirit of Christmas before the commercial. I haven't
Mr. Sheffield, I love your store. It's so commercial.
regular Macy customer.
I'll be shopping here regularly when you have what I actually need to buy.
And when you come to see me at Macy's,
Oh, he's famous.
all about the wonderful toys.
Thank you so much to Jedi Bunny, our lovely mod,
You talk to Santa Claus. Goodbye.
for shouting out my Patreon where we do more watch parties
Susan,
and keeping the conversation going.
Kris Kringle, I'm Santa Claus.
She's a skeptic.
You You don't believe that, do you?
You see, my mother is Mrs. Walker, the lady who hired you. But I must say, you're the best looking one I've ever seen.
My mom signs your checks.
You have those things that go over your ears.
That's because they're real. Just like I'm really Santa Claus. Go on, pull. Well, go ahead, pull.
This weirds me out.
That.
The fact that this girl has never touched a real beard,
Nothing
this was a defining moment in her daddy little girl
sensible.
roleplay fetish. Hi, Erica. Thank you so much. Hi from Minnesota.
Your maid had to go home. Her mother sprained her ankle. She asked me.
That maid that we never see.
Yes, she phoned.
I thought as long as we were here,
They keep, like, removing scenes.
Santa Claus.
He's a nice old man, Mother. And his whiskers are real, too.
Yes, dear. A lot of old men have real whiskers like that. Susan, if you'd like to go over and look at the dolls, I'll be with you in just a minute. I want to talk.
Better get out of here, so we're gonna yell at this guy.
I didn't think there was any harm in saying hello to the old gent. I'm sorry.
Oh, I think there is harm.
Mama, she was gonna learn that men had beards sometimes, eventually.
Gentleman with real whiskers.
What's wrong with that?
Hi, Max Rona.
Tail she'll grow.
Thank you so much for your super chat. I'm sorry today sucked, and I'm so glad that it's getting better.
Charming to come along, and when he does, he'll be a...
We were talking about Susie, not you.
Oh. Santa is her divorce.
Agree with me or not, I'll have to ask you to respect my wishes.
Sis, this is a Macy's toy shop. You need to keep some of that clocked out.
For me.
Yes, sit down, won't you?
This is a...
Save that divorce trauma for when you're on your own time.
That's the reason I asked you to drop down. She's a little confused. Would you tell her that you're not really Santa Claus? That there's actually no such person?
I'm sorry to disagree with you, Mrs. Walker, but not only is there such a person, but he...
Oh, now we're gonna fight.
Oh, no, you don't understand. I want you to tell her the truth. What is your name?
Kris Kringle, I'll bet you're in the...
She's like,
Second.
ruh-roh.
I mean your real name.
It is my real name. Second grade.
In the 50s, a job interview, like, vetting process, they were like, are you a white man?
Well.
Great. Background check, passed.
Where did you get such a lovely outfit?
Macy's, we get 10% off.
Susan.
Flexing the friends and family friends discount. She's really something.
Goodbye.
Julie.
Hope I see you again soon.
I hope so, too. Bye.
Kris Kringle. Address, Brooks Memorial Home for the Aged.
If you care,
Uh-oh.
call them and ask for Dr. Pierce. He'll be happy to confirm it.
Age is old as my tongue,
Uh-oh.
but older than my teeth.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's the truth.
Next of kin,
We've had kids sitting on his laps all day.
Blitzen, Prancer.
And Dancer.
You're gonna give all of your money to the reindeer? Not even the wife? Cassie, thank you so much for the super chat.
Kringle.
New here.
Well,
I'm so happy. Thank you so much for enjoying my videos.
because we had last year's back in town, and, well, I feel
Oh.
owe it to him to,
Have I done something wrong?
Well, we're just concerned that you're a little, murderously delusional.
Macy wants to see you immediately.
They would need to put him on a performance improvement plan before they could just fire him like that. I don't care how many crazy reindeers he just said he wanted to inherit. I know employment law in New York. They tried to get rid of me at Macy's for coming in late 12 or so times without, or like not calling and not showing up. Whatever though. Life is hard.
Now, about that new sales policy that you two seem to have initiated. It would have been better to clear it with the sales department.
Sasha performing at kids' parties and not even breaking character when there's an allergic reaction. Hero.
What?
And thank you so much for the super chat. What a fascinating job.
Telephone calls, telegrams, over 500 parents expressing their undying gratitude to Macy's. So I've decided to make this the new sales policy for the entire store. If we haven't got what a customer wants, we'll send him where he can get it.
He invented the internet.
Known as the store with a heart. The store that puts public service ahead of profits.
Wow, Macy's, you're such brave heroes for telling people to buy their post-Depression era train sets.
Appreciation, and to tell you that in your Christmas envelopes, there'll be a more practical expression of our gratitude.
Thank you, Mr. Macy.
That'll be all.
Oh, I hope it's an Airheads Extreme.
Oh, and tell that wonderful Santa Claus of yours that I haven't forgotten him either. No, never mind.
I'm gonna get naked with him in the steam room and have a big old steam dumpling roll around party. I love secretly gay 50s. Imagine. Oh my gosh, that's rear screen projection of the beauty department at Macy's 34th Street. I used to work right down there, putting your eyeshadows on with my freshly sanitized hands.
Fit or something. I tell you, the man's insane.
Maybe
Laura, thank you so much for the super chat.
Mr. Sawyer.
What?
We'll get Sawyer to examine him. He's a psychologist.
So now they're gonna get the
To examine the employee.
doctor,
Can't get
the school doctor, to examine him and make sure he's not gonna like snap a kid's neck just because he thinks his name is Kris. That's the truth.
Oh, Mr. Kringle! Mr. Kringle! I'm afraid I acted rather hastily and perhaps unfairly. This other Santa Claus, well, Mr. Macy has found something else for him to do, and, well, we want you to stay on.
Well, this is mighty good news. You see, Mrs. Walter, for 50 years or so, I've been more and more worried about Christmas.
No more talking though.
It's not just a day, it's a frame of mind, and that's what they've been changing. Well, I'm glad you're taking me back.
What is this?
Something about it.
I would be nervous of him.
Met you and your daughter. You're my test case.
We are?
Yes, in a way, you're the whole thing in miniature. And if I win you...
What?
Well, there's still hope. If not...
So you're making a guinea pig out of me?
But I'll try, and I'm warning you, I don't give up easily.
Oh, well, Mr. Kringle, first thing in the morning, would you report to Mr. Sawyer's office for a little examination?
Mental examination?
Well, partly, yes.
Oh, I don't mind. I've taken dozens. Haven't failed one yet. Yeah. How many days in the week? 7. How many things do you see? 4. Muscular coordination?
Oh gosh, no. Maybe don't go in predicting his questions like that, because that's an issue.
Mr. Sawyer doesn't know that one.
Just stop. Just settle the volume and the free talking over if you want to keep the job.
How much is 3 times 5?
Why is there math?
I'm conducting this examination.
Why is there a math test?
Same as it was before. 15. You're rather nervous, aren't you, Mr. Sawyer? Do you get enough sleep?
My personal habits are of no concern to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just that I hate to see anyone all tied up.
How many fingers do you see?
3.
Was it a vision problem ever that they were worried about?
I want you to stand up straight with your arm.
Cutting down a big wheel of Parmesan and watching. Nice, Brienne. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Very often nervous
I'm gonna buy myself a block of cheese with that.
by insecurity.
Okay, he's hitting himself in the face. That's not proving any point.
All, Mr. Kringle. The examination's over. You may go. And it may interest you to know that I've been a happily married man for 26 years.
Oh, I'm delighted to hear it. Fine.
Your wife, Mr. Sawyer?
What else? Agnes, how many times have I told you not to bother with the office? No, I give you a perfect...
Oh my goodness.
If that fat, stupid brother of yours would get a job, you wouldn't have to be pestering me all the time.
Stupid brother yours. You're the one with the stupid brother. You don't even know.
No.
She's going around behind your back with the brother.
Months ago.
I read her diary.
It'll do. Just stayed on.
Has he ever told you his real name?
He said he was Kris Kringle. We never pressed him further.
Mrs. Walker, after giving that man a comprehensive examination, it's my considered opinion he should be dismissed immediately.
Dr. Pierce, Mr. Sawyer.
Just because I'm mad.
Didn't Kris answer the questions correctly?
Well, yes, he did, but there was a complete lack of concentration. There's no doubt about it. He should be placed in a mental institution.
Wait a minute. People
It's too easy for him.
are to prevent them from hurting themselves or other people. His is a delusion for good. He only wants to be friendly, helpful.
Mrs. Walker, naturally I cannot discharge this man. So when he begins to exhibit his latent maniacal tendencies, which I assure you he will, the responsibility will be entirely yours.
As soon as he jumps up that parade float and starts scalping the 6-year-olds on the sidewalk, it's going to be on you, Mama.
Of trouble,
Now, what trouble could Kris possibly get into?
Girl, he's exposed to children.
Coming to work, for instance, a policeman might ask him his name. Now, you know that would get him into a fight.
Well, that could be avoided easily enough. Find someone here in the store to rent him a room. Then they could go...
Sasha not passing that mental exam via math and vision.
Your son's away at school. What about his room?
So they're now Thank you so much for the super chat, Sasha.
You take Kris home.
This guy is the boss, and they're like, all right, he's going to stay with you.
Oh, really, Mrs. Walker? If I can supply the room, the least you can do is furnish a free meal.
Furnish a free meal. What is the way people talked back then? The mid-Atlantic accent. Furnish a free meal.
What sort of games do you play, Susan?
I don't play much with the children. They play silly games.
They do.
Like today, they were playing zoo, and all of the children were animals. Homer was supposed to be the zookeeper. He said, "What kind of an animal are you?" I said, "I'm not an animal. I'm a girl." He said, "Only animals allowed here. Bye."
Oh
my God.
Sounds like...
Tomorrow you go in there and tell Homer, you know he sticks his willy in the peanut butter.
Do you know what I'm...
Santa Claus sees everything, bitch.
And it's really not there.
Wow, tatted with dimples. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Yeah, you know, like... Well, you know, the British nation and the French nation.
There's no adult, I think even in the 50s, who thought it was dangerous for a child to have an imagination. Like, because it was, like, part of brain development.
The Statue of Liberty in the morning. And in the afternoon, a flock of geese flying south. Well, the first place, you'd have to learn to pretend. That's imagination. Now, the next time they play...
See?
You tell...
Exactly like that. This is a very... I feel like this is something educators knew already by 55.
You bend way over. That's it.
Uh-oh.
Arms loose.
Maybe not this, though.
And you scratch.
Why are the monkeys so itchy where you are?
On the contrary, the firm of Hazlitt, Sherman, and Hazlitt has been very good to me. But being an exceptional lawyer, I want to open my own office.
Being an exceptional lawyer, I'll exposition.
We're having our first lesson in pretending, and we're doing pretty well, too.
That's...
She'll be having nightmares for weeks.
But she'll be having
What?
fun in the daytime.
She's gonna... The idea that monkeys exist is gonna give her nightmares?
Oh, Mr. Shellhammer.
She's weak. You've raised a weak child.
Shellhammers have a room for you.
That's very kind of them, but I've accepted Mr. Gaily's offer to stay with him.
Mr. Gaily.
I'll get the meat.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Shellhammer, but it seems he's made other arrangements.
I can't open it.
Yes, well, goodbye.
Well, here we are.
Steak.
No, it's venison.
Uh-oh.
Office gave it to
Gross.
What's venison?
Oh, deer meat. If you don't like it, I have eggs for you.
Could I have eggs, too? Venison, you know, I couldn't.
You're eating Rudolph and his shiny red ass for dinner. You're sick. You're sick, you're sick, you old man.
Something that even your mother doesn't know about.
Uh-oh.
Give me a chance.
All right.
Good.
That's what I want.
Tell me your deepest, darkest secret, little girl.
Like this?
No, a real house.
A real house?
If you're really Santa Claus, you can get it for me. And if you can't, just a nice man with a white beard like this.
Ultimatum.
Because every child...
How obsessed is this girl with the American dream?
That's what I thought.
You live in a nice apartment in Manhattan, sis.
A house like this.
Live in it
Just wait till Starbucks makes it way over there.
I want a backyard and a swing and... She can't get it, huh?
I didn't say that. Well...
He's like, you just want to move to Jersey so you can play soccer somewhere?
Can.
Shut up.
May I keep this?
I can't open it. Oh, at the top.
Good night, Susan.
Good night.
Smells like that.
Do you like living in the city?
Oh, it's all right. I'd kind of like to get out in the country sometime, though. Not a big place, just one of those junior partner deals in Manhattan.
Junior partner deals.
One of those colonial houses.
Or Cape Cod.
Cape Cod.
About Mrs. Walker.
He is gay.
You know, like a lot of divorced women, she's determined that no one will ever hurt her again.
Knows like a lot of divorced women. Now you're the queen of divorced women, Santa.
You know,
if these two don't hook up, this whole thing will have been a waste of time.
Those two are a couple of lost souls. It's up to us to help them. I'll take care of Susie if you'll take care of her mother.
It's a deal.
Now let's push these beds together and see how coarse each other's body hair is.
That way. All my life I've wondered, and now I'm going to find out. I'm going.
How big is Santa's dick?
Question that's troubled the world for centuries. Does Santa sleep with his whiskers inside or out?
Always sleep with them out.
He said, I'll tell you. I've never wondered about the whiskers thing. Is that an old-timey thing people talked about? I don't know. Santa's not qualified to be homeless because he lived at that home for the aged. How much candy do you think I'm about to eat? Stock footage.
This is one event I never expected to see.
Two can play at this game, Mr. Macy. If Gimbals hadn't got what the customer wants, we'll send him over to Macy's. It'll be
changing the economic landscape. Comparative shopping.
There they sat. Adult but...
I'll take care of Susie if you take care of her mother. Oh no.
Summer, war,
Susie looks
glorious.
catatonic.
The end. Do you like that story, Susan?
Mr. Kringle, do you think I'm going to get my house for Christmas?
Well, I can't promise, but we mustn't give up hope. Good night.
Something could happen.
Tomorrow evening, I'll rejoin...
He's like, I'm not gonna build it for you. Look at me.
School.
I've got...
Vacation?
I take Boniva.
But this is what they call a required function.
Required function? The Fillmore Progressive School requests your presence at a special performance of a Christmas play to be given in a modern manner. What does that mean?
A Christmas play without Santa Claus.
Well...
What?
Christmas play without a Santa Claus?
Is Jesus still in it?
The performance will be followed by a short address. Subject, exploding the myth of Santa Claus.
Yes. Kill the patriarchy.
Speaker will be...
Genderqueer Santa.
Sawyer.
Santa's hatching a plan. Look at all these 50s kids. I love them.
You enjoyed our little play. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce our old friend...
They really trust this guy with kids.
Albert Sawyer.
I wish we could have seen the play. She called it a little play, too. Like, how nice to condescend your children.
It's thrilling indeed to see so many happy, smiling faces.
It's about to end.
I know you're all looking forward to a joyous Christmas. But as those of you in this intelligent group know, this is going to be a Christmas without Santa Claus. Such a person as Santa Claus, St. Nicholas, or Kris.
Does he think Santa Claus is Hitler?
Never has
Is he confused?
and never will exist.
What department is he at the school?
This silly old man in his red suit represents the wishful dreaming of all people. He's the all-giver, the generous father.
So he's talking Jesus, right?
Keep this myth alive.
No.
Clinging to childish fantasy.
They don't talk about Jesus.
Show themselves afraid to face
They said,
reality.
that's not cool. Some things are still really cool in the 50s,
Have a strong feeling of...
but we're not bringing Jesus into this.
I see nothing to laugh at. Far from...
It's weird that he's telling a whole school of children that Santa's not real.
Far from being amusing. Far from being amusing, this myth is actually harmful. Only stupid old men prancing around in white knickers keep this ridiculous myth alive.
Now he's gone too far.
Oh! Yeah. That was definitely not okay, Kris. If you're gonna bash someone in the skull in a room full of children, don't smile ghoulishly after.
Before Mr. Macy.
While all the kids sit there screaming.
You,
Trauma.
Mr. Kringle, after all, you're his
Oh,
friend.
no, I can't.
I wish that they had bloodied his face more.
This is going to hurt him deeply. I just can't.
All right, what can we do?
I think I have it. You tell Kringle Mrs. Walker wants him to leave at once in order to have some publicity pictures taken with the mayor. I'll have a car waiting outside, and once we get him in the car, we'll drive him straight off to Bellevue Hospital.
Yes, that'd do it. I'll ride up front with the driver.
They're all very excited about having this man committed. Santa was like, not on my watch. Carriage return said. Oh, in the hospital they let him keep the cane that he had used as a weapon. He's like, do any of you nurses or orderlies also not believe in Santa Claus? Because I'll shove this so far up your ass.
Just examination.
It'll be candy cane Christmas coming out your esophagus.
Why?
I had great hope.
The doctor's like, I told you it would get weird.
I had a feeling that Mrs. Walker was beginning to believe in me. Now I know she was only humoring me all the time.
Mrs. Walker didn't know anything about taking pictures with the mayor. That was Mr. Sawyer's idea.
It isn't just Mrs. Walker. Take Sawyer. Contemptible, deceitful, dishonest. But he's out there, and I'm here. That's
Yeah, because you don't know how to act right.
Just think of yourself
You could live as Santa if you just learned to, like, be Spider-Man about it.
and what you stand for.
People aren't ready for you, honey. The adults aren't ready.
You can't let them down.
So you better hop into your magic hot dog bun and fly all over this city,
Flunk that examination.
throwing your trashy vintage toys down the chimney.
said our first president was Calvin Coolidge. Oh, but you can fix that. You'll think of something.
Now take it easy. A judge is going to be asked to sign papers committing you to a mental institution.
Evil Colonel Sanders.
A public hearing.
I cannot talk sometimes.
I can think of nothing better. Don't you see?
That was funny.
Settle the question
Tracy T.
once and for all.
We're ready for some trial. We're ready to move into the court.
Do you solemnly swear the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
The dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are known as the Santa's Real Unit.
You may proceed, Mr. District Attorney.
Why is it anyone's problem if this man identifies as Santa Claus? You can't tell him no.
Where do you live? That's what this hearing will decide.
It's a very sound answer, Mr. Kringle.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Old Gray.
Tell me.
Mr. Dusty Face.
Believe that
Mr. Old Bones with your dead face.
The state rests, Your Honor.
In view of this statement, do you still wish to put in a defense, young man?
I do, Your Honor. I'm fully aware of my client's opinions. In fact, that is the entire case against him. But Mr. Kringle is not sane because he believes himself to be Santa Claus.
An entirely logical assumption, I'm afraid.
Not necessarily, Your Honor. You believe yourself to be Judge Harper, yet no one questions your sanity because you are Judge Harper.
Mr. Kringle is the
What?
subject of this hearing, not me.
Exactly. So I intend to prove that Mr. Kringle is Santa Claus.
How can he do it? He's not even wearing a red hat.
What does Mr. Hayslip, Sherman, and Hayslip say about the trial?
Hayslip, Sherman, and Hayslip?
That I either drop the case or they drop me. So, leaving me no choice, I quit.
He quit his job for her.
I can't let Kris down. He needs me and all the rest of us need him.
Darling, he's a kind, wonderful old man, but... Well,
Why?
throw away your career because of sentiment.
I'm not throwing a career away. I'll get by. I'm a darn good lawyer. This doesn't shake your faith in me, does it?
This is a question of common sense, not faith.
Common sense?
Believing in things when common sense tells you not to. I wish you could
Now come on, lady.
people like Kris.
Let me use your hairdryer to thaw out that pussy of yours before Christmas Eve so I can fill you with a baby that I'll care about immediately.
Pay the rent with him.
If it's a boy, or talk to when it's older if it's a girl.
Why don't you try a little blind faith, darling? String along with me. I think you've got a right to ask that.
I think I have the right to ask you to be a little bit more practical and realistic.
We're done with the practicality. You're gonna fuck the Santa.
All cockeyed.
Right? That's the stakes?
Close as two people can possibly be. And yet there's a...
They want to bring Santa into the bedroom with them. That's what I feel like this discussion is.
My best.
I know you have, darling, and so have I. But we're gonna need a lot more than each other's arms.
Wait, how long? They've known each other 2 weeks. Because it's 14 days till Christmas. How fast do trials happen in this place?
With all my common sense, I was just beginning to think this time it might work out.
So was I, but...
This is very formulaic for a lot of movies we see nowadays, don't we?
In the tree?
Thanks, I can do it.
Well... Good night.
Mama, you're dodging a bullet. Under that cheap suit, syphilis. They didn't have a cure then. The cure was having brain illness. I don't know if that's true.
R.H. Macy.
Do you recognize this man?
Yes, he's an employee of mine.
That's the bastard who made me go to work every morning when I worked at Macy's.
You?
Mr. Macy, you're under oath. Do you really believe that this man is Santa Claus?
Thank you so much, Good Humor Man, for the super chat. As well as Chance Havens, who says, call Elle Woods, she'll clear it up. Legally Blonde 3, silver and gold. I'll have to check it out.
I do.
Thank you so much for the super chats. Mr. Macy just said he believed in Santa. Obviously, he can't tell the newspapers that he doesn't believe in his Santa. Even though he just perjured himself. Oh no, because he is Santa.
Person is Santa Claus, and everybody knows.
In this universe.
I ask that the court make an immediate ruling. Is there or is there not a Santa Claus?
Girl, haven't we been through this with God already? You decide.
This court will take a short recess to consider the matter.
Separation from Santa and state.
I don't care about the law. I'm talking about politics. You go back.
I don't care about the law, he said. The district attorney.
Put you in the primaries.
Charlie. I'm a responsible judge. How can I seriously rule that there is a Santa Claus?
All right, go back in there and rule there isn't. The kids read about it, so they don't hang up their stockings. So what happens to all the toys that are supposed to be in them stockings? Nobody buys them. Oh, the toy manufacturers are gonna love them. What about
the autonomy? The whole economy is gonna tank if you say there's no Santa judge.
A popular guy. And what about the...
You won't get reelected. Damn, New York really is corrupt.
Henry, I'm telling you, if you go back in there and rule that there's no Santa Claus, you can count on getting just 2 votes. Your own and that district attorney's out there.
One. District Attorney's Republican.
So I'll vote against my beliefs. The one thing I said I wouldn't do when I took this job. What kind of world? What kind of world?
Consulted. The highest authority available.
Do you think I can do this?
The traditions of American justice demand a broad and unprejudiced view of such a...
Mara Wilson, in the 1994 version, walked up to the judge and gave him a Christmas card with a dollar bill in it and circled perfectly in red the part of the dollar bill that says, "In God We Trust." And that reminded the judge that we all have to believe in things that we cannot see. We believe in God and we put it on the thing. It's like, yeah, that's the main problem. Take the God part out of the government part.
Me? Thomas Mara Jr.
Thomas Mara.
Oh, was that pop a little too loud? Baby.
Tommy, you know the difference between telling the truth and telling a lie, don't you?
Oh, yeah, the lawyer's son.
Tell a lie, especially in court.
Do you believe in Santa Claus?
Sure I do.
Can't have a surprise-ass witness. This whole court is out of order.
You're there.
I loved the raspy kid.
Overruled.
The kid had a raspy voice in the 1994 movie.
Sure, there's a Santa Claus.
Because Daddy told me so. Didn't you, Daddy?
Mara Wilson, yeah, the judge was like, I will be returning the dollar to her.
Tell me
So to make it clear, it wasn't a bribe.
Would you, Daddy?
Thank you.
This kid is like, my dad says there is a Santa.
Bye, Daddy.
You just got ate by your own son. Ooh, ignore the wording of that. Your son just fucking nailed you. Ooh, why do I suck at this?
Of a Santa Claus. But I ask that Mr. Gaily produce authoritative evidence that Mr. Kringle is the one and only Santa Claus.
Authoritative evidence.
Your point is well taken, Mr. Mara. Mr. Gaily, are you ready to show that Mr. Kringle is Santa Claus? On the basis of competent authority?
Not at this time, Your Honor. I ask for an adjournment.
I'll need 3 days.
This court stands adjourned till 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
When's Christmas? Because court dates take a long time.
What are you doing? Writing to Mr. Kringle to tell him I believe in everything he told me. Everything will turn out fine.
That's nice. He'll like that.
Where shall I send it?
I think it goes to Bloody Prison Cell, number 356, where he's being beaten with a padlock.
What did you write?
They don't show his jail time.
I believe in you too, Doris. Go take your bath now.
Suddenly she believes. Another bath, the 50s. Did they have showers? I ask you honestly. The tree is beautiful. Great call out.
Could you give me the number of the main post office, please?
Hello,
Maine.
Are you kidding? We got maybe a couple 100,000. Yes, ma'am, we sure would.
What's she up to?
Hey, lady, that's not a bad idea. Thank you.
I love the days when you could just call women lady. The Gaga wasn't added until 2009.
Kris, I've got bad news for you. I've tried every way to get some competent authority. I wired the mayor, the governor, everybody.
Susan. And means more to me than all the mayors and governors in the world.
What? It's worthless.
Well, he hasn't got a thing.
You just wait, Mama. The mail coming. The mail's coming. The U.S. Postal Service.
Your Honor?
The answer was the USPS. Macy's got a plug in this.
This man is really Santa Claus. And in view of
The mail center got a plug in this.
to get to our homes, I ask that these
The
commitments
50s.
without further
Sandwiches and baths.
Mr. Gaily, have you anything further to offer?
Thank you so much, No Fighting,
I'd like to submit the following evidence.
for the super chat. Lars and the Real Girl.
Government.
I didn't realize it was a Christmas movie.
the world's
I will definitely
Concerns did a gross
look into that. That sounds fun.
of $1,112,877,174.
Your Honor, I'm sure they're all deeply gratified to know that the post office department is
So,
but it hardly
letters to Santa are keeping the post office in business.
Make it a criminal offense to willfully misdirect mail or intentionally deliver it to the wrong party.
Yeah, Your Honor. I'm sure that the state of New York is willing to admit that the post office department is authoritative, prosperous, and efficient.
For the record.
No one's saying anything about the city.
Then, Your Honor, I offer these letters in evidence. They're simply addressed to Santa Claus, yet they were each delivered to Mr. Kringle by bona fide employees of the post office department.
Bona fide, he did not.
Your Honor, 3 letters are hardly a
The sentencing is now for him. He goes to the electric chair. Bona fide.
Oh, I'm sure we'd all be glad to see them.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Bona fide. And even that's stupid.
On your desk?
Yes, yes.
There's a movie where Santa killed a guy.
Your Honor.
Oh, this is gonna be visually comedic, I can tell. Bags. Several bags. Don't dump this all over me. I'm a judge. Sir, you are on death row. You are on death row.
Every one of these letters is addressed to Santa Claus, and the post office has...
Let's sit quietly from the defendant seat.
Government recognizes this man, Kris Kringle, as Santa Claus.
Oh, so the post office gave Kris his...
America believes this man is Santa Claus.
All of America
Will not dispute it.
was sending the Santa letters to him. Every letter.
And a Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Kringle.
Oh, I got you.
Merry Christmas, Father Chode, or whatever. Chris Chunky.
Oh, I'm working tonight. You see, it's Christmas Eve.
Wow, Monica, thank you so much for the really generous super chat. I love being in Mystery Science Theater mode too. Mwah! Thank you so much.
I think she misses Kris.
Don't worry, young lady. Kris is bound to come.
Didn't get my present, Uncle Fred.
Why, darling, you got a lot of presents.
Not the
one I wanted.
Not the one Mr. Kringle was going to get for me.
What was that?
It doesn't...
Don't worry about it.
I didn't get it.
This girl, I don't know if she's understated enough or too understated.
I get a letter or something about it. Hello?
Hello, Susan.
That is a little confusing. that the letters didn't get delivered to Kris Kringle because the newspaper at the post office had them.
You couldn't get it because you're not Santa Claus, that's why.
So they weren't sending them to Kris.
Man with a white
They proved that Santa's not real.
I shouldn't have believed you.
Oh.
Susan. Merry Christmas, Kris.
I'm sorry Susan is disappointed in me.
Oh, she'll be all right. Here's Fred.
Oh, bye.
Merry Christmas.
Are they married now?
Out at the home. Fred, we're giving a little party this afternoon. Will you bring Mrs. Walker and Susan out to help us celebrate? Of course I will.
What do you got planning?
You turn off the parkway at Seymour. Drive 3 blocks, then turn onto Ashley Drive. You'll see it on the right.
If someone just gave me verbal driving directions like that, my brain would shut off completely. I'd be like, can't you just come pick me up?
I told you not to believe in Mr. Kringle.
Cry, little girl, cry! Let those wet tears soak your new dolly.
Faith is believing in things even when common sense tells you not to. I mean, even though things don't work out the way you want them to the first time, you still gotta believe in people.
She must be confused, because they just proved Santa was real.
I'll try.
But then she didn't get the house. This little girl's sense of reality has been smashed with a hammer and glued back together several times. And they're talking out Gilmore Girl speeds. Don't worry, someday when you dry again, you'll feel better. Don't cry too hard, or your eyes will fall out. And then I'll have to eat them, because I'm the eye monster, and I'm gonna eat your eyes and shit them out. And that'll be your new home.
Susan!
Susan!
Susan? You shouldn't be...
Oh, I ate all of the candy.
But this is my house, Mommy. The one I asked Mr. Kringle.
This is my house, Mommy.
It is. I know it is. Oh, you're right, Mommy.
You're lucky the
First time
town
got to be
creeper wasn't in there waiting with his little spider web to snatch her up.
I'm going to see my swings.
You told her that?
You believe in Santa now? We can finally... City belt? That kiss looks weird. And why...
I always believed
Uncle Fred, they were calling him.
I take a little old man and legally prove that he's Santa Claus. Now, you know...
It's his murder weapon. He killed the family that actually owned that house. Yeah, they're gonna have a hard time paying these taxes.
Maybe.
But maybe they'll combine their Macy's salaries.
I didn't do such a remarkable thing after all.
The cane is covered in that trademark crust of dried feces that Kris Kringle had. Brava! Brava! She over! Wow. What do we all think of this lovely movie? Did you know that you can, do things like blackmail a... Because that happened in this. Oh, wait, no, that was the remake. He caned them. I'm confused, too, because they were already rich, and now they're moving to this smaller-looking house. How close is that house to Manhattan? Because they gotta get to 34th Street every day. I have so many questions. Oh my goodness, Lauren Kirby, thank you so much for the super chat to dedicate to my candy fund. I promise it'll be probably Airheads. And I also already drank my Starbucks caramel brulee frappuccino. And this looks like a toilet brush, doesn't it? That weirds me out, but that's Christmas. What can you do? Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the first ever episode of Public Domain Theater. Please let me know if there are other public domain works that you would love to see us review here. I hope to make this a regular part of my content schedule. Also, don't forget we have regular watch parties every month in my Patreon, so we don't have to stay in the public domain there, so I get to take your suggestions even more to heart. We watch new things, old things, controversial things that YouTube won't allow. And there's new content outside of that every month too. So if you're interested, check out the links below. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much to Jedi Bunny for being a mod on my stream. And make sure that you're subscribed if you're watching. That way you'll know when I upload my newest video, one that I know you're gonna love, on Monday. You guys are all the greatest. Thank you so much for miracling on 34th Street with me today. I hope you don't get hit in the face by a canny... I was going to say I hope you don't get hit in the face by an old man's cane, but maybe that's exactly what I need, because I can't get my words to connect properly. Oh, my candy cane. This is an old man's cane. Oh! I will see you guys next time.